Hi, it's been a while since I've been on here chatting about my thoughts. I recently went through something that really made me pause and take a hard look at my health. So, over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now, I transitioned from a job and decided to build a business for stability. And because a passion of mine is to help others take care of their health. I really, I really want families and children to grow up healthier, feeling good about themselves. It's all about mental health. I'm not going to go on too much because this now is more about how and why we need to take care of ourselves before we help someone else. My immune system here just lately was so depleted that I developed impetigo. It got to the point where I needed antibiotics and then a medicated steroid cream 7 days later because it started affecting tissue under my skin. Around the same time, well, I guess a week after, a close friend of mine ended up in the hospital on IV antibiotics for systematic infection. Now, impetigo is typically a children's or elderly. It's a type of staph infection, and it'll affect you when your immune system is down. Now, chances are, and a few things that I was going through the last year makes me believe that I may have been fighting this infection a little bit longer than I thought. And with my immune system depleted as badly as it was, it got really bad really fast. And you can't see it so much anymore. This is now, I'm going on a week and a half, but it was the size of my face. We thought it was shingles. Well, other people mentioned it was shingles, but I knew that it wasn't painful there. It was painful in my head, in my lymphatic system. So I felt lumps, and I know how to look for this stuff because that's part of my training. And just like my friend, systematic, we see things that are weird and different, but we don't take notice because life has us by the throat in some cases. We both are going through changes. Job changes. Again, this is my second move in a year. My son's gone through 3 or 4 schools now. It's hard to keep track because it's every 3 months. It's been a roller coaster of a ride. And I just keep standing up and I keep going forward. I'm not taking a break, although now I find it hard just getting out of bed and doing my laundry. So when I start to think about putting my business back together, because again, I had to cancel my business when I moved out to Alberta because it's a different designation for who I am too. You know what? I thought this is not going to happen. Not right now. I need to fill my cup first. And that was my problem back in Saskatchewan. And this is where things were starting to go down really fast. I was helping with addiction services in a reunification program while building a business to help with basic lifestyles, healthy habits for families. I was going to volunteer in schools. I was putting this stuff together. I had programs set up for recovery, wellness and recovery, specifically women. I was reaching out to businesses so that we could help women and identify the problems. We'll cut that short now. I'm not even going to go on to that because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here now to keep myself accountable, and I'm hoping others will join me too. What keeps coming up is the idea that it's just age. This is how I hear it all the time. Well, our immune system breaks down when we're older. We have to accept it. Our body gets sore more. Welcome to being older. I won't fully accept that. I'm 49 and I believe the quality of life matters at every age. When I quit drinking at 32 after 16 years of drinking, I had damage to my brain, I had stroke, I had digestive problems. I went into recovery at 85 pounds. I was sick. I couldn't form sentences. I had gray hair. I looked way older than what I did. And when I changed my life and I did the basics, the sleep, the nutrition, the water, and held myself accountable, and just what I did is I just started adapting healthy behaviors. I started my school, my course at the Alive Academy for nutritional consulting practitioner. So that's what I have a diploma in. My gray hair went away. I haven't dyed my hair in, I don't know, I'm 49 now. The last time I was 32. I had so much energy. I went off sugar and processed food for 6 months. What a change. Now, I do believe, and I have not eaten candy since I quit drinking in 2009 because I believe some sugars are addictive, and research is showing it right now. Monster drinks, high fructose corn syrup. It also depletes the immune system. Research shows that it can impair the immune system up to 5 hours. So just think about it. If you had so much sugar every 5, and I'm not talking food, I'm talking like candy. I'm talking processed foods, granola bars, donuts, muffins, white sugar in your coffee with cream. There's a lot of things that play factors here. But I did do a no processed foods, all nutritional diet, and my body thanked me for it. I was 32. I acted and felt like I was 20. I started weightlifting at 38. So, I mean, and you see these people all the time in their 80s, women and men who look muscular and they're healthy. And so there's proof out there. So for these here, though, what happened to me lately is looking back, I can see how much stress I was under, and I went through major life changes. I'm going to read this part out because I can carry on and I don't want to. There's moves, job transitions, single parenting, and my child going through changes too, and losses. Oh, hamsters, cat, homes, schools. I just lost my vehicle. It wasn't safety. I couldn't get it safetied in Alberta. And I stopped taking care of myself the way I knew I should have. Like I was just done, but I was still going through the steps like so many others do. I started leaning on sugar more during the stress. I will prefer sugar over alcohol any day. And again, my sister asked me if I was drinking, and I have a post on how we need to accept the help. And without getting defensive, understand, yes, you're going through mental stress. And what was the last time you went through mental stress and what happened? So my relapse after 4 years wasn't stress, but most people it is. And we got to think about these things. There's also lots of research, though, that supports that sugar temporarily suppresses the immune system and the functioning, and combine that with chronic stress, burnout, and poor sleep, it adds up. Many people they're on their hospital bed due to this kind of stuff, and they're younger than me. And I've seen this in my own body too. So even before moving out here, I ended up in emergency thinking that I was having a heart attack. I thought it was digestive problems. However, heart attacks, heart problems, it runs in my family. And my sister, I'm moving to Alberta. I'm driving us to Alberta. And my sister said she would rather see me go into the hospital, spend 5 hours there, and make sure that I was okay to drive because there's no ambulance on the way. So even though this was playing, I was showing huge symptoms. And with women, we need to be a lot more careful because our symptoms are more silent. But I was getting a lot of symptoms, and they figured it's digestive. I came out with a clean bill of health, but I've also had skin infections. I have a torn tendon in my arm, and I just found that out recently, but my arm was in so much pain, yet I was moving, I was lifting heavy stuff, I was driving. You just keep going, and this tendon is not in very good shape, and the ulnar nerve has been now affected. Like I am shutting down, but it's due to my own neglect. I'm neglecting myself. I am abusing myself if we need to I will admit that. I mean, I have to be honest. I can't support other people properly if I'm not taking care of myself first, right? I mean, we can't take care of our kids the same way if we're not taking care of ourselves. So I've stepped back from my business. And not because I don't care. I want to rebuild my own foundation. What I'm realizing is that health doesn't start with extreme programs. It starts with the basics and community connection. So to hold myself accountable, I'm inviting you to do this with me. Sleep, hydration, reducing processed sugars, supporting the nervous system, building small, sustainable habits, healthy habits. We don't even need to look at the bad habits right now. Don't even think about those. We're just going to add good habits. And as those positive habits build up, the negative ones, well, we don't have time for those anymore. They're going to go out the door. Okay, we're going to build a whole new personality. When I quit drinking years ago, I did it by focusing on those basics. I stayed sober for 4 years doing exactly that. I did have a relapse, but I came back into it with those same steps and they worked again. And that's what I want to return now. It's not perfection, it's not pressure. We're just building basics together. I'm going to start sharing simple steps in the comments and future posts. Things like water intake, sleep routine, healthier swaps for high sugar foods. And this is, okay, so this is what I do. I bake my cookies. I have full control over how much sugar goes in there, how much butter goes in there. I have to work for it. That's the best part. I have to work for it. So I'm building a positive habit. So rather than doing something like, well, for my case, I used to smoke. So let's pretend I smoked again. I now am taking away from that and putting my focus on the baking. So that's just a little example. Again, we're not focusing on what's wrong. We're building what supports us. When we start adding the right habits, the healthy ones naturally start to fall away. Sorry, the unhealthy ones start to naturally just disappear. I'm not offering personalized plans anymore. I'm not running programs. I'm simply sharing what I'm going to do and opening the door for anyone who wants to do it alongside me so that I'm held accountable. So this is just like my mentoring programs. We used to meet once a week, or like with the reunification program, I would meet with the women once a week. We'd go over the plans and stuff, but this is not personalized. I want your feedback. What do you do? What's helping you? Right? Because everybody's different. And this is what I explain all the time. Again, with the women with the reunification program, we all come from different backgrounds with different knowledge. So anyways, if this resonates with you, you're welcome to follow along and join in. I am going to have my Substack in the links. I have built a page to observe. I'm opening everything up for everyone to look at. I really want to get back into this. My focus is family health, wellness and recovery, mental health. When we start taking care of ourselves physically, it makes an impact on our health mentally. I guarantee it. Well, okay, I'm not allowed to guarantee anything, and I'm not going to. It is possible to feel better mentally when we feel better physically. We have a lot of say in our health. We are going to age. But how do we want to age? Do we want to age in pain, or do we want to age knowing that we're fighting for a great quality of life? And it gets easier. But right now we're going to do simple things. 5-second stretching in the morning. That's all you need. Add 2 glasses of water more a day throughout the day. Squeeze some lemon in there, some grapefruit. Just little stuff like that. You know what? If you want to do 5 squats and only 5 squats, you're adding physical activity, you're getting the blood going, and that's all it's going to take. And then you're going to start wanting to do more. And then you're going to want to do more. And it's going to feel really good. And I'm telling myself that now too, because this is what I'm doing. Anyways, I hope I see you there. I hope it wasn't too long. And bring your families. This is really great for the kids. My child can hold me accountable because he's learned a lot about sugar. Junk food, Mom, having too much junk food. Have fruit instead. Okay? Again, that's where I'm going to sign off. Thanks for listening. Bye.